My sister screamed at my birthday. Nobody actually likes you. We just feel sorry for you. I finished my cake quietly. 2 years later, I was the only one who could afford mom's surgery. When she called crying for help, I let it ring. The candles were still smoking when she said it. 26 years old, sitting in my parents' dining room, surrounded by people who suddenly couldn't meet my eyes. My sister Vanessa stood at the head of the table with a wine glass in her hand and venom in her voice. The room went silent except for the sound of my fork scraping against the plate. I took another bite of chocolate cake, chewed slowly, swallowed. My mother started to say something, but Vanessa cut her off. Someone had to say it. We've all been thinking it for years. My father looked at his napkin. My brother-in-law smirked. I finished my slice, wiped my mouth, and walked out without a word. Nobody followed me. Vanessa had always been the golden child, cheerleader, prom queen, married at 24 to a real estate agent who drove a BMW and talked about crypto at every family dinner. I was the quiet one who worked in IT and lived in a studio apartment and hadn't had a serious girlfriend since college. My family treated me like furniture, present but ignorable. At holidays, Vanessa would make comments about my weight, my job, my apartment. Still coding in that little cubicle? She'd ask, loud enough for everyone to hear. My parents would laugh nervously. Nobody ever defended me. After the birthday incident, I stopped coming to family events. My mother texted occasionally. We miss you. Vanessa didn't mean it. Don't be so sensitive. I read them all. Responded to none. The startup I'd been working on for 3 years finally got acquired 8 months after my birthday. The payout was more money than my father had made in his entire career. I didn't tell anyone. I bought a house, a nice car, started investing, built something real while my family assumed I was still struggling in my studio apartment. Vanessa's husband's real estate business collapsed during the market downturn. She posted less on social media. My mother mentioned they'd moved in with her in-laws. I saved the screenshot of that conversation and filed it away with everything else. A folder on my phone labeled receipts that I'd been building for years. Every cruel text, every backhanded comment, every time my family chose silence over defending me. The call came on a Thursday afternoon. My mother's voice was shaking. Your father had a heart attack. He needs bypass surgery. The insurance won't cover all of it. She paused. We need $60,000. I let the silence stretch. I know we haven't been close, she continued, but he's your father. I asked her if she'd called Vanessa. She doesn't have it. Nobody does. Her voice cracked. You're the only one who might be able to help. I told her I'd think about it. Then I opened my phone and looked at the receipts folder. Scrolled through 2 years of evidence that my family only remembered I existed when they needed something. 3 days later, my mother called again. I didn't answer. Vanessa called that night. Then again the next morning. I watched her name flash across my screen 6 times in 2 hours. Finally, she left a voicemail. I listened to it once, then saved it. Her voice was desperate, cracking, nothing like the confident sneer from my birthday. Please, I know I was terrible to you. I know I said horrible things, but this is Dad. He could die. I'm begging you. I played it again. Then a third time. Something cold and satisfied settled in my chest. I texted my mother a single line. Ask Vanessa why nobody actually likes me. Then call back. My phone exploded. Texts from my mother, my brother, cousins I hadn't heard from in years. All suddenly remembering I existed. All suddenly concerned about family bonds and forgiveness and letting go of the past. I screenshot every message, added them to the folder. Then I called my mother on speakerphone while I cooked dinner. Did you ask her? I said calmly. This isn't the time for... Did you ask her? Silence. Then, quietly, she says she was drunk. She didn't mean it. I laughed. She wasn't drunk, and she meant every word. You all did. You just thought I'd always be there to feel sorry for. My mother started crying. Please, he's your father. I stirred my pasta. He was my father when he sat there and said nothing while his daughter told me the whole family pitied me. He made his choice. Now I'm making mine. I hung up. The voicemail notification was still on my screen. Vanessa's desperate voice, begging for money from the brother nobody actually liked. I saved it to my cloud storage with everything else. 2 years of silence from a family that only valued me when they needed my wallet. The surgery cost $62,000. Vanessa started a GoFundMe that raised $8,000 in 2 weeks. My father had the surgery anyway. Paid for by a second mortgage on my parents' house and loans from relatives who could barely afford it. I found out through a cousin's Instagram post. Grateful for family pulling together in hard times. I wasn't tagged. 6 months later, my mother sent a letter, handwritten, 3 pages long, explaining how hurt they all were by my abandonment. She said Vanessa had apologized. She said family was supposed to forgive. She asked if I was happy now that I'd made my point. I read it once, photographed every page, and added it to the folder. Then I blocked her number, moved to Seattle, and never looked back. The last I heard, Vanessa's husband filed for bankruptcy, and my parents sold the house to cover their debt.